I feel like they're trolling us with a band of air.
What are you then? An oversized squirrel?
Roll it. Welcome back, everyone. And today I want to talk about, as I said in the intro, the band of air, and why I think we are actually being trolled. And why do you feel you're being trolled, Galactic? Why do you want to talk about the band of air, and what is the problem therein? Well, the problem with the band of air isn't that it's best in slot, but more about how people get the band of air. You know, the process and how it works. I mean, it's the best damage ring in the game currently, and every min-maxer and DPSer with goals wants it. Let's not kid ourselves. And I do agree it shouldn't be an easy item to get, since it's a high-value top-notch ring, and there needs to be some level of grind to getting it. You know, you need to actually earn it. For those who are new to the game and don't know, the only way you can get the Band of Air is by doing the Vault of Stars in Hardcore mode. Hardcore Vault of Stars has 3 mini-bosses and the final boss fight that altogether drop 4 separate reagents, and that's how you make the Band of Air. The first mini-boss drop has the Petrified Root Band. The second is the Shambling Mound Moss, the third is the Thorn-Covered Sepal, and the final reagent is the Night Diamond Shard. So what is the problem with getting the Band of Air? First main issue is the drop rates are horrible, especially for the third mini-boss for some reason. And it seems like they all have different drop rates, because clearly the general consensus is the third mini-boss has the lowest and most aggravating drop rate of all. So obviously one of the main issues is the drop rates. But let me explain one more thing. In the Vault of Stars, there are more reagents you can farm that you actually gather to create the Forest Guardian gear that you purchase from the Sharadar campaign store after you have gathered a certain amount of each reagent. These reagents do not drop individually to each player, but rather there is a need or greed system attached to them, which in my opinion is brilliant. Because if someone on your team doesn't have the one reagent he needs and the group with him already has the gear, then they can all pass on the item and let the player who needs it actually get it. And then he could just go along and get the gear that he desired, which is fair in my opinion. But that is not the case with a Band of Air. When I grinded for that fucking ring, it took me just over 700 hardcore runs extra, just for the one remaining third mini-boss reagent. Do you guys know how many times a player from my many groups that actually needed a reagent to drop for them, who had ran Hardcore Vault of Stars hundreds of times, and that person had to sit there and watch someone else who didn't even need the reagent get it instead? And what made it worse is if the one who got the drop couldn't even pick up the reagent due to already having it in his inventory. It says something like you can only have one of these items in your inventory or whatever. So you had 0 options to let someone else in your group have the reagent. It literally is lost for no reason. Why is this a thing in the Vault of Stars? The game already has the need or greed system in place. Why doesn't it implement it for the Band of Air reagents? If someone already has a reagent and doesn't need it, why does the reagent need to go to waste? When it can abso-fucking-lutely be passed on through a very easy to implement need or greed system to a player who needs it and has grinded for it. Do you know how frustrating it is to grind those reagents endlessly, only to see someone else get the drop that doesn't even need the damn thing? I mean, it doesn't even let them pick it up if they have it in their inventory, so it goes to total waste. And it's 4 reagents we're talking about, not just one. So imagine the compiled frustration. I mean, those are the type of things that piss players off, which is completely avoidable. It's hard enough to even get a single reagent to drop. And on top of that, when it does drop, you can't take it even if everybody else already has it. It feels like we're being trolled, deliberately. Do you guys feel trolled? Because I did, and I do. Like, what was Cryptid thinking when they created the system? Were they sitting at a round table and saying, hey guys, you know what would be funny? If we trolled players with a system that has a super low drop rate, and get this, and isn't a need or greed and just lets them lose their mind. Like, seriously, it's mind-blowing. Why did the need or greed system not get used as it always used to be in the first place? Need or greed gives everybody a chance at a specific item or ring or reagent. No wonder why most players have given up on farming the Band of Air. It is extremely aggravating and stressful because not only do you need to contend with shitty RNG and drop rates, you are also contending with average groups who will die and cut your hardcore run bosses short, thus making your grind longer and longer until you find a group who can actually have a decent chance at completing it unscathed. And then you also have to contend with the stress of not dying and ruining it for everybody else. And now you also have to contend with others getting something they don't need and they can't even pass it to you with a need or greed system, thus rendering it useless to you. You are being tortured in front of your eyes, folks, and the victim is that one nerve you have left. Listen, Cryptic, please just listen. All you have to do is make the reagent system need or greed. I'm not even asking you to add better drop rates, because I believe something shouldn't be handed out in super easy in the first place, but at least at the bare minimum, give players hope by giving them a system that you already have created, the need or greed system. Trust me, players will feel better about running hardcore boss and actually have some belief injected back into the game and into their hopes, because they might actually have a chance to get the band of wares that have been farming forever. Alright, Cryptic? Let's make it happen. No more trolling, okay? Trolls belong in Middle Earth with Frodo and Bilbo Baggins, not in Neverwinter. Sheesh. Let me know what you guys think of my idea in the comments below. Am I crazy for thinking this? Isn't it the right thing to do? Who knows? Maybe I've lost my marbles. No clue anymore. Galactic here. Peace out. Stay safe.